Wow, thank you.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. Holly's a roller girl.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, cool. What are we doing? 70s, yeah, late 70s vibing. Cool, so we're going to do lots of layers, part in the middle, and try to create that volume as much as we can out of your hair. Yeah, that'll be fun. Cool. We'll stick it up for inspiration. Getting a haircut with roller skates on is probably the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go, and then lots of layers.
Okay.
And your fringe, because you wanted to make we can make it heavier, but we're not going to really make the fringe any shorter than it is today.
Okay.
Later on, we can make the fringe shorter for a different look because we want to do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to work with the length of your fringe, but we're going to end up like, layers,
Yeah.
shoulder. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then blow dry it really big. Fun. And yeah, we're going to recreate 1978. And yeah, I wear the Ford hat because it goes with the beard. The beard. I've never driven a Ford. I don't know anything about Fords. I did used to work in a Ford engine factory a long time ago.
really?
But beyond that, I learned enough from working in a Ford engine factory that I wouldn't want to drive a Ford ever. But I just like the hat. It goes with the beard. And also, my grandfather was a farmer,
Oh yeah.
so he had all the Ford tractors and all that stuff too. So
Oh,
I can
funny.
wear my Ford hat in honor of my grandfather.
Yeah, well, I think that's very cool.
Yeah. So you have a beard like this, you need to wear a Ford hat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the beard is new for me too. I just decided to grow it for the COVID year.
Oh really?
Yeah. So everything we do with this chair is retro. So we get the stripy cape.
I love that kit.
I know, so fun.
Should I show off my rollerblades?
Yeah. Yeah.
Before the head goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Come on over, we'll wash it. I'll spin you so you're aiming towards it. Actually, we'll just spin you on this way. Come on over. Grab this one here.
This is making me realize I really need a rollerblade more.
I know.
It's so cool.
Yeah. But roller skating is a different balance than roller blades.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And yeah, we can come back over.
Cool.
Yeah. You'll have to watch Boogie Nights at some point. They've got the best roller girl ever.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm trying to think of the actress name. She plays roller girl in it. And it takes place, it starts in 78, around that time, around the era we're doing with this.
Yeah.
So it takes place around 78. And then it wraps up in 1980 or 81, like early 80s, somewhere around there. So it covers those years.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it like really dead at the end?
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's.
Let's get rid of it.
Yep. You sure you don't want the little mushroom one? It cuts out more.
I can't.
I know.
Not
I'm just
yet.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Like, it will be something I'll consider once I.
Oh, I was just joking.
No, genuinely.
Yeah, no, I know.
I love the look of it.
I know the look of it too. Yeah. But no, we want to empower you with this project. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're like, oh my god, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Sure.
So your fringe has already been hacked into, and it's got all these weird. No, it's actually got a shape to it that's workable.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, that works because it's already kind of angling over to the sides. Is it something you did or someone else did it?
I did it.
Yeah, I can tell. That's fine. I'm just gonna work. I'm not gonna take it any shorter because we want that kind of. We just want to do a center parting and sweep it over.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna work with what's there.
Okay, cool.
And then yeah, you're willing to add more to it. That's why you did it because it inspired you, but then you're too afraid to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like when people cut their own hair and stuff. Like, and it's cool. Even when you mess up, it's part of the fun too. Or when you nail it, it's satisfying. When you screw it up, it's part of the fun.
Part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always just hack into my own fringe.
Yeah. But with us, fringe trims are always complimentary, so you pop in anytime.
Oh, there we go.
Which you can see from the center parting, and that's going to just
Yeah.
arc over. So that's where we're going to end up with that. And then we're taking the length off.
Your dress ups are so cool.
Yeah. I have all the retro over there.
Yeah, so cool.
But for years we were doing monthly shots in the Capital magazine. So that's how that began, because we were doing all retro looks, but it was going every month in the magazine.
Oh,
So that was our editorial stuff, like that was our print stuff.
yeah.
Now I decided I'll get into video. And I decided this with retro because coming out of lockdown, everyone was doing mullets. And I'm
Yeah.
like, mullets are so much fun, but what else can we do from that era?
Yeah,
So then the wedge haircut comes up, and the bowl haircuts come up, and then the short little coiffy hair, like all those different things they used to like that. So the concept was, let's just recreate ridiculous haircuts from late 70s, early 80s. Everyone has to get one. And then we're just going to do the traditional haircutting, traditional styling, and then we're going to wash it out, and we're going to do a modern take on it.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
what we've been doing. That's been the concept of this
I love
project, which
that.
has been so much fun.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And we've only, like I showed you that one mullet that we did, but it's more like, okay, mullets, everyone's been doing a mullet. Let's just do other things. And so perms are coming up now too, so we're going to get into perms.
Yeah, perms are
Yeah.
cool.
And so I think I'm going to continue with this because it's just funny. And then, you're young and you do this and you're like, oh my God, that's my mom's hair. And you're like, yes! Don't tell your mom, do it. Then go home and show your mom and she's like,
Yes. Oh my God.
I used to have that hair! The best was one of the girls when we were doing the editorial shot. We did this one in the Capital magazine. Her mom had a perm on her wedding day.
Oh yeah.
So she cut her hair like it was waist length. Her mom was short perm. So she cut it off and permed it the same as her mom on her wedding day.
Oh, no
and didn't tell her mom. So she went that morning and she didn't tell her mom. So she comes home and she goes, Mom! Her mom looked at her and nearly fell over and said, oh my God!
Oh my gosh.
She nearly fell over because that was her mom's hair on her wedding day. So even
cute.
funnier, so she sneaks upstairs and her mom still had her wedding dress. So she put her mom's wedding dress on.
Yeah.
And she went, Mom, come here! Her mom walks in and she goes, don't let your father see you like that.
Oh my God.
It's just funny. She's young too, and she just matched her mom's hair. But the whole concept, some people are like mortified, like, oh my God, I look like my mother. But your mother should be your biggest role model.
Yeah.
So like, oh my God, I look like my mother.
Yeah.
Like, why would you be mortified when you look like who should be your biggest role model?
Yeah.
I guess it all depends on your relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
But some are like, oh my God, I look like my mother.
Yeah.
Like, with love, right?
Yeah.
Or some are like, oh my God, I look like my mother.
Well, my mom had a haircut exactly like this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you go home with it.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, we're going to cut a lot off because of the damage.
Okay.
We're going to
yeah.
cut off big chunks.
Let's
So we're going to go just
hard.
past shoulder length.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sit up. No, you're good like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
I also have psoriasis a bit at the back.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it's
On the back of your neck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But just so that you know,
Yeah.
it's not problematic.
Yeah, not a big deal. Like, runs in my family too. I don't have it, but I had it in the past.
Right. Yeah.
And my dad used to have it really bad.
Yeah.
So I know all about it. Yeah, it's not contagious. It's just one of those pain in the ass things.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
really, it's just sore.
I don't know why I don't have it anymore, but I used to, when I was young, it was a presence. Yeah, so you can see where we're going. And then we're going to layer it like crazy, part in the middle. Try to get the volume.
Yeah.
Make it amazing. And then we'll have you back for color.
Okay,
I think it's a
awesome.
bit too much for all tonight.
Yeah, totally.
You'll rock this for the weekend anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I this is what I need when I can't sleep.
Yep. Yeah, when that comes off, oh, you're gonna love that.
Oh
Wait till
my
you feel this
gosh.
next bit.
I'm excited. Oh my gosh.
You want to feel that?
Oh. Oh my god. I don't think I've been this short since I was 12.
Sure.
I love it.
Sure.
Oh, I should have done it sooner.
Yeah, yeah. And I always say though, because people revert back to their childhood haircuts, but there's a big difference between a child in a haircut and a woman with a haircut.
Yeah.
This is a woman getting a haircut, so this is you as a woman, which is not the same thing as a child.
Yeah, 100%.
So this you own this differently. Where you're 12, you're like your nerves are completely different at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when you actually like dress up and you know with a new haircut, like say if I went out like tomorrow night,
Yeah.
it's so nice to like actually rock the haircut. You know, like it's like put a full face of makeup on and like
Yep.
dress like really cute.
Yep.
Wow, I'm looking at the color difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For today,
It's like two types of hair.
there is, but for today the color will be fine after I do the blowout because you're not going to notice the roots so much.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am going to get you back Tuesday night.
Yeah, awesome.
And we're going to do your color.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. And if we were going to film that, I don't think we're going to film that because I'm doing modern color technique.
Right.
But if we were going to do
What would
film
be-
that,
what would be
put
that?
the
Oh,
cap
okay.
on, stick that cap on, poke it through.
Oh my gosh.
Throw the bleach on. Because that would have been like highlights in the late 70s.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know how many people were spoiling highlights in the late 70s, but I don't think many were.
No.
But I don't like, I've never done a cap in my life.
Really?
Never.
I used to watch my mum get a cat.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I
I've
was
never in
little.
my life.
But like that wasn't even that long ago. That would have been like in 2007,
Yeah?
2008. So like
Who
why?
does a cap in 2000?
Well,
yeah?
somewhere on the North Shore.
Oh, I guess.
Of Auckland.
I guess. Wow. But they always say New Zealand's a little bit behind the rest of the world, like about 20 years. So somebody in the North Shore of Auckland was still living in the 80s. Like the last person in all of the North Shore still using a cap, and she's got her 5 customers that are, oh no, I can't do the foils.
No, I can't.
No,
I'm not ready to move on
No,
yet.
no, I just don't like the look of those foils. I'm not ready to move on. She's got the monopoly of the cap. All 5 of them.
It's like I could get like frost tips.
Yep. Yep.
It's more Backstreet Boys.
Yep. I reckon some were foiling in the late 70s, but not many. If you look at Farrah Fawcett's highlights in the 70s, it's really good.
Right.
And that wasn't a cap.
Yeah.
You can tell that was not a cap. It's really good. But again, like I said, Farrah Fawcett, amazing haircut, amazing color. Looks great. You go to the mall, because you have that picture, and they're putting a cap over your head. So yeah, that's what the time was, like late 70s, early 80s.
100%.
Yeah. Today, modern hairdressing, we do a lot more with our standards than they did back then.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody sees a celebrity in California, but in Wellington, we're closely matching what they're doing. Whereas back then you weren't having the local hair salons at that standard, right?
Yeah,
but
for
today,
sure.
there are still some not doing that standard, but for most of us in this industry today, work to that higher standard. So it's more of a, but back then, no.
Yeah, for sure.
There was very few at that high standard, and there was the majority that were just not.
Oh, I'm totally loving this.
Yeah, me too.
Feels so fresh.
Yeah, the face, you'd suit any haircut.
Oh.
You're starting to feel that now, aren't you?
I'm starting to.
Because at first you were like, I'm not sure about this or that, but now you're like, you know what, I could rock anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna enjoy this haircut for a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally vibe with this haircut.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
And
I'm gonna start pulling out like way more of my 70s fits.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks so nice. And it's not even done yet.
And my cutting technique today is not matching the cutting technique of that time.
Oh really?
But the length and the shape of it we are, but see how I'm going through like that? And
yeah.
Yeah.
How does that differ?
Oh, they probably went then. They would have held it up and gone snip straight across.
Oh.
And then they would have done, it's increase, I think it's called increase layer. They take the back and they go push it forward and they use that as a guide and it's snip.
Oh.
So everything is kind of like a flat top with this length and everything's brought up and cut to that guide.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But a lot of, like I said, in the mall, they're rushed. The haircut's 20 minutes, $7, $8. That's what they're doing. Snip, 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 snip. And then what happens with that technique, it's a rougher, it's a solid edge. So it's more heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I'm doing is I'm going through like that, softer.
Right. Yeah.
So the haircut you probably got in the mall back then would have been heavier.
Right.
And most of them, like I showed you with that wedge haircut.
Yeah, for sure.
The expensive version and the mall version. And the mall versions were always heavier because the haircuts were rushed. So you're like, snip.
That's funny.
And then a quick blow dry next. They probably booked haircuts every 20 minutes. So
oh my God.
on the hour, 20 after, 40 minutes, and then the next. So they were doing 3 people in an hour.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so they were probably booked every 20-minute increments.
Ridiculous.
Next. 10 minutes to cut, 10 minutes to blow dry. Or not even. 12 minutes to cut, 8 minutes to blow dry.
Oh my God.
And then,
so crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this length. I'm looking more and more like my mum.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
She has hair like this length.
Yeah, that's cool. You have a cool mom, probably.
Yeah. Except for when she was maybe getting like the capping until like 2008.
You can't fault her for that.
Yeah. No, but she was cool for doing that.
Yeah. But some of that too isn't really because she likes the cap, it's just because she's supporting the person she's been going to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's fine, we just do a cap, whatever. Like, Mom, you should, no, it's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah, I've been going to her for a while now.
Only like 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this length. I did not think my Friday was going to end up like this.
No, that's the best. I bet you didn't think this was going to happen when you woke up this morning.
No way.
Those are the best. Life is like that when you do things like this, unplanned.
Way more exciting.
Yeah. Now it's I don't know which but fringe. if this was 1978 and you were in my high school, I'd ask you to prom.
Oh my god, I would totally say yes.
Yeah,
With this haircut.
with this haircut. Yeah. Like you were in my class, and the next day you showed up to class with this haircut, and I did the double take. Which really happened in my life. There was a girl in my class, my math class, Meredith,
Yeah.
15 years old me. She's in my math class, and she was a girl with like shoulder length and layers and
Oh, yeah.
highlights, like every girl. So she cuts her hair off short one day,
Yeah.
and of course I double take. She's really pretty. She's got the cool short haircut, so I'm like, anyhow, but she's not, she's just a girl in my math class.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the haircut was cool, but then time goes on. So that was her first short haircut. Then she goes for her second short haircut.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Oh no.
It's awful. So she comes to school and she's just like, ugh. And I remember, because my grandmother's a hairdresser, right? So you kind of grew up around it, and oh, look at that. You've totally got that.
I
Vibing going
love this.
Isn't that great?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
So,
amazing.
so anyhow, she's in my math class, I look at her and go, I can fix it. And she's like, what should you do? I was like, I can fix it. So I did. After school, I took her home and I fixed it. I just cleaned up the sides and back of the clippers and did the weight line. And oh my God, she ever looked good. And then I think it was about a week after that, she became my girlfriend.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. So I ended up with the cool girl with the math class. I fixed her hair. And then after, but you have to understand, when I was in high school, this is late 80s,
Yeah.
you could smoke on school property. We had smoking sections for students, right?
Oh wow.
So she's like playing with her hair. She's like smoking cigarettes, 15-year-old girl. Because, well, you could back then, right?
Yeah, totally.
She's like smoking and playing with the back. Because I did the back short with the clippers and I left the weight line. It looked amazing on her.
Yeah.
She thought she was the coolest thing. We go to McDonald's and we're in line at the McDonald's. So that was the first haircut I ever did in my life, was hers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was the very first haircut I ever did. Because I looked at her like, I bet you I could do this. And I did it. And then she became my girlfriend. So we go to McDonald's and people in McDonald's like, oh my God, I love your hair, did that. And I'm like, oh, he did it. I'm like,
That is
this
so
little 15-year-old
amazing.
kids, like, I'm all like, yeah.
How did you even figure out how to do that?
Because watching visual person, my grandma,
Right,
hanging around my
yeah.
grandma's salon. Yeah. Yeah. And then from there, I started doing more haircuts back then to, friends or whatever.
Yeah.
And eventually, I'm more of a self-taught hairdresser because I did do hair school.
Yeah.
But what did I learn from hair school? That it was the biggest waste of time.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I got only a third of the way through hair school. I dropped out because I was dumb. And then I ended up working in a hair salon. And I gained my hairdressing license through experience, not through education.
Right.
But I did do education anyway. It's the formal, the initial hair school I couldn't do. But advanced hair training I could do.
Right.
Because at that point, the beginning stuff was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Especially because I was influenced by my grandmother. And then they're like, well, you have to do this way. But I don't want to do it this way. So it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But there was a salon owner that recognized that back then and said, you're wasting your time, just come work here. And I did it through experience, not through formal.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So what age did you first start working at a hair salon?
Oh, 20s, in my 20s.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't do it right away, like high school, and then I did mechanical engineering. I think 24 I started
Oh,
to focus
mechanical
on.
engineering.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did do that because, but 18 years old, he's like, oh, the world needs more engineers. So I did
Yeah.
mechanical engineering. That's like I said, I
Yeah, you
worked
got
in a
the
Ford
Ford.
engine factory once. If you can survive a Ford audit, you're in the right to wear a Ford hat. But also, from that experience, you'll learn that you'll never want to drive a Ford.
Yeah.
The more you know about them. But I like the road tractors and stuff like my grandfather.
Mm.
My grandfather's era.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That era of Ford was awesome. Modern Ford? Crap.
No, doesn't look as good.
No, yeah. But they're old tractors and stuff, yeah.
Mm.
They actually made airplanes, the Trimotor, the Ford Trimotor,
Oh,
which is an
really?
airline. It's actually a really cool airplane.
Oh.
Yeah, so they actually did quite a bit of things. There's still a few Ford Trimotors left in the world, and they're like a flying tractor. They're indestructible. I'll show you a picture after, and you're looking and you're like, yep, that looks like something Ford would make. The Ford Trimotor. You can Google that, anyone watching can Google that. Ford Trimotor.
Yeah, go Google that.
Yep, and it is an airliner. It takes passengers. And it's got the Ford emblem on the fuselage. Yeah.
Huh.
I think they thought they were going to do more in
More
aviation.
air
They never
stuff,
did.
yeah.
That was the only thing. It was a very successful airplane, but they didn't do more.
But
Yeah.
yeah, short-lived.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a flying tractor. Rugged.
Oh wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is fun.
And I haven't had layers in so long.
Yeah. And you said you like Stevie Nicks vibing.
Yeah, I love
This is-
Stevie Nicks.
Her hair's longer, but this is more.
Yeah.
Because what you do if you're Stevie Nicks vibing, you don't want to match her hair because you're not Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
But you want to match
You want
the
the
style
vibe.
of the era.
Yeah.
Like you want to look like a girl at a Stevie Nicks concert in like 1978.
Exactly,
Right?
you're totally right.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to look like the girl on stage.
No,
I want to look like.
but you want to look like you're like one of the
an audience.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'm just being perfectionism.
I love it. And my hair looks so much healthier.
Yeah. Yeah, and see I'm coming through all the way.
Yeah.
So a bit dryness on those ends, but I like the blonde ends anyway.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't. You know, we've cut enough out to make it bearable again.
Awesome.
And yeah, your hair's fine hair, so fine hair entangles is like it's just and color damage.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I have you for the next
We
little
can
while,
fix it.
we're not going to repeat what's happened. I don't know what happened. Where you don't? I don't care what happened then.
I won't even mention
I'm
where
just-
I was going.
Me, I'm thinking about your next three.
Yeah, thinking in advance.
Whatever that guy's name who did Princess Diana's hair, thinking of your next three haircuts. I think that's an awesome. Any hairdresser out there should have that kind
Yeah,
of.
amen.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of great ideas out there, and I think that one's a good one.
Mm.
You're thinking about your client's next three,
Yeah.
not the service, not them in the chair today. They're in your chair today, but you're also thinking of their next three.
The next three.
When they're in their
visits.
chair. I think that's really cool.
This is so cute. And like, I feel like this will look good half up, half down kind of vibes too.
Yeah. And no ponytails.
Yeah, no.
Half up, half down was a big look in that era as well.
Mm.
Look straight down. Yeah, that's better.
Oh wow.
And then
Oh, I love it.
pull it half up, half down. And what you do is you let the fringe drop out of it.
Oh my god, I love this man. Yeah, that's so cute.
Yeah. And that you can. I would do like the old school way of doing
Yeah,
it. You
that's
can
so
ponytail.
cool.
You can do a hair clip as well. I have a hair clip from that era. If you did a hair clip, you just do that. With
Yeah,
it.
I
Yep.
love that.
Yep. And
Oh
then you
my
have your fringe,
gosh,
and then it's just past your shoulder.
cute.
Yep.
Yay!
So we're going to make it big, as big as we can make it.
Oh, it feels so amazing.
Yeah.
I love the layers.
Where's my can? There it is. Yeah. And of course our sponsors, Mousse and Hairspray.
Ew.
We've been doing mousse and hairspray through everyone's because that was the stuff from the time. If you want authenticity, you use what they used back then, and this is the best part.
Oh, that's
How satisfying.
pretty. That's like ASMR kind of stuff.
Very satisfying.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah. And lots. I'm not sure when mousse came in. If it was around late 70s, but it was definitely an 80s thing.
Yeah,
But if it wasn't really late 70s thing, I'd use it anyway.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
My grandmother's hair salon. That's a picture of it there. That's the hair salon there. The Viner's Hair Fashion.
Really?
So that's from her salon when she opened that 1973.
Wow.
So I was 5 when I first.
$1.50?
No, it's 150 off.
Oh.
Bring this coupon and receive $1.50 off on any service with this coupon, limited one per family. Ladies and men, hair fashions, boys and girls, hair styling. And there's the address, which was in Canoga Park,
Wow.
which is in, it's near Reseda, which is in the valley of Los Angeles, California. But she's Canadian, but she moved to California in the late 60s.
Oh, wow.
And then she opened her salon. First she worked in a salon in Beverly Hills in the late 60s.
That's good.
And then when she got the money together, she opened that out in the valley.
Wow.
Yeah, but her first job in California was in Beverly Hills. She enjoyed, but it was a lot of settings. But in the Beverly Hills at that time, it's not like what they would drive today. We're talking late 60s. Settings. Constant settings, right?
Yeah.
Money, people with money, settings. So that drove her a bit crazy. So that's why she had to get away from Beverly Hills out into the valley. They bought a house near Reseda, and then that was Canoga Park. So, you know, when I was 5 years old, spend the summer down there and go to her shop almost every day. Sweep the floor, you share your tip money with you, and then you take the tip money and you go to Arby's and buy a roast beef sandwich. Best summer of my life.
That's a very cool poster.
Yeah. And we're gonna do round brushing. And we're gonna make it as big as we can make it. Yeah, take that over. Only me, because I do retro. So what you would do if you wanted to do that big hair, you want to create volume, lift at the root, round brush like this, warm it all up. Just stick it in there. You can let it cool off, or your other trick, you can use the back of a hair dryer, which cools it off quicker. The reason why they have that button on there is because it makes it cool as well. But the problem is the hair dryer takes too long to cool off. You have to hold that button. Like when I do it, you feel it's hot. When I push the button, like you feel it's hot, right?
Yeah.
When you push the button, so feel how long it takes to cool off.
Yeah.
So it's not where the button's there for that reason. People are like, what's that button for? It takes too long to cool off. So the best way to do is heat it, cool it. Because it's instant cool. If I push the button to cool it, it's taking too long to cool off.
Right.
That's instant. So this is the, one way of cooling it off. And then when you take it out, you see you got that volume in there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do. And if you have more, like ideally, if you had like 12 of those round brushes, and I used to do that a long time ago, then I used to call, like it's princess hair. You make it big. So you just leave them in, and they cool off on their own, and then you take them out. So it's a cool technique,
cool.
not done often anymore. I can't remember the last time I've seen it. Yeah. I've done it, once every 2 or 3 years I'll do it. So that's why all these brushes are in that back room at the bottom, because I don't do them, but I don't do them anymore. So you can do it with 2 round brushes because you alternate between the 2. That one's sitting and cooling while this one's activating. That one out. Nice and big. And then we'll just do a blast and spray. Lock it in. And hairspray also cools too because it's compressed. So what's coming out is cooler
cold,
than the temperature here, so it's cold as well. So even if you blast it on the round brush, that's also helping to cool it off as well. Yeah. the reason for heating activates. The reason for cooling sets. So when it's heat, it's active. If you take it out hot, it's active. So it just drops. Cooling sets.
Right.
Once it's cool, you take it out, it's set. That's the reason for it. Heat activates, cool sets.
That's why we use the back.
That's why we do that's why we do a cool shot. Or leave them in so they cool on their own. Any of these options are good, yeah. But you can see that. You've never seen that volume in your hair ever. Once it's done and I push that back, we're going to create that feathery look, that 70s feathery look.
I love it.
We're just building it up now.
It's
we're
so
pumping
cute.
it up now. Yeah.
I've never seen it like this puffy.
Yep. And then with all else fails and we don't get the volume we want out of this, then we go to hot rollers. But this is a good base. And if we want even more, because once this is dry completely, then we just throw hot rollers over top of this. And then you get even more, which we could end up doing tonight. We may or may not. We'll see how it looks after.
Yeah.
But also we could do that after the we'll see. And if you want to create volume at home, just blow dry your hair upside down. Because you see what I'm doing? I'm lifting it from the root. So when you put your hair upside down, it's the same thing. It's just home techniques.
That's so true.
And you can do one round brush and do what I'm doing, but for you, you're just going to bring it to the front.
Bring it to the front.
Yeah. Because that's kind of how I'm doing it. Doing the front anyway. What happens is you're creating the volume to the front, and then after it's done, you're brushing it all back.
Yeah.
And that's what's creating that flicky back feather 70s stuff.
Yeah.
But you're not blow drying it back. You're creating the volume to the front, and then you're pushing it back because that's pushing in the opposite direction, which creates that effect.
Yeah.
So you can do this stuff at home. Back then they did it. They were masters at doing this at home. Before high school in the morning, getting up, before smartphones and things like that, they did their hair.
Yeah.
And there was far more emphasis on their looks back then.
Yeah.
And they would nail it. People could do this at home. They would nail it.
Well, that's the thing. Why can't my hair look like this every day?
Well, you could if you were living but to their discipline, right? We don't have their discipline anymore.
Yeah. Then your center parting straight down. Split back.
see that effect that's
Yeah.
going on there?
Huge.
And then same this side.
This looks so much like my mum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to zoom her later.
Yeah.
Mom!
Guess what?
She's like, oh! That's my hair!
That's me.
And then we grab a bit of this.
Huge.
Remember in dance school they used to do that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I knew you knew that one. Anyone who's been to dance school
Yeah.
knows that one.
Of course.
And then you see you get that in there, and that's that effect. When you look over, look this way a bit, you see what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I love how it did that. So cool.
And then same this side. And this haircut just oozes with attitude, especially back then. Smoke cigarettes. Go with the boys with the hot rods.
I need to smoke a cigarette with this haircut.
Me too. I'm not saying to,
But you are.
but no, you know, this is a different era now. But what's amazing, like my 6-year-old watching Grease, how much smoking in that movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But for her, there's no smoking in her life.
Mm.
So she's like, what is it? You know, she's never seen it before, right?
Mm.
Nobody in her life smokes. She doesn't see it. She sees it in Greece. So it's this weird novel movie with all these music and they're smoking these weird things. I don't know if it appeals to her or not. I never brought it up. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, she'll see Grease her way. But I saw Grease when I was a child too, about that age, 5 or 6. My mom took me to the movie to see it.
Mm.
I never was a smoker, even though we were allowed to smoke in high school. I never was a smoker.
Mm.
So I never, and both my parents smoked.
Right, really, yeah.
Yeah, but it never appealed to me. I always just was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that feel?
I love it.
Yeah.
There's so much volume to it.
Yeah. Slide this stuff off.
I love it.
And with that outfit, with that hair, with those roller skates,
So cute.
and you can see.
Oh wow,
Isn't that
that
fun?
is so cool.
And then you play with it for a bit because you run your fingers through it. It's meant to
Oh.
be versatile.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
so different.
And don't you feel like you're not yourself? Like you're
Yeah.
you're on a different planet. It's like we're not in Kansas anymore.
No.
No, I'll do another glass of hairspray on that. I'll do the light one though.
Wow.
No, I'll just do. No, I'm gonna grab the light hairspray because I don't want to
feel-
lock it in. I just want it to be textured.
I'm ready to take on the world.
Yeah. The more that it starts to settle in, like the more you move it around, it's a versatile. It's meant to be versatile, so it starts to take on its shape on its own. But yeah, you put your fingers through it, and all that, you know. Yeah, it's really starting to take that shape now.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I'll show you the back again because it's starting to transform more and more.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many layers.
Yeah.
Wow, I love the layers.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Isn't that fun?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, let's go take
Yeah.
shots of it. Also, what I like about it, your hair doesn't like to go dead center. It likes to go a little bit off
a
center.
little bit.
I prefer. Don't try to force it into the center if it doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, now I need to slide around.
Yeah. what, an hour later?
Maybe 2.
2?
I think 2 hours.
Yeah.
later.
We're enjoying some jazz
Enjoying jazz
and
with
some
beer
beer.
and cigarettes.
Yeah, we got smokes. And look that way a second. Look how cool that flick is. Isn't that awesome? Because that's what happens. It's still holding up. God, that is so gorgeous.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is.
Awesome.